After his secret identity was outed by the Sinister Six, Peter Parker and his family were forced to flee New York City, but even when they're on the run, a superhero's work is never done. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 15 and find out together, shall we? So then, this issue wastes absolutely no time getting started as we join back on up with Peter, MJ, and the kids. They're currently living in one of those lawless slab city-style trailer parks out in the American desert. Peter's body has healed nicely after his last run-in with Kraven, but unfortunately his mental state isn't doing too good right now. He blames himself for having to uproot his family and also blames himself for what happened with Harry. Though, as I mentioned in the last video, I'm still a little suspicious if that truly did actually happen the way we saw it due to the influence of Mysterio. If nothing else, MJ remains an incredibly supportive and upbeat partner, trying to tell Peter, don't think of this as running away from home, think of it as a nice little vacation. And indeed, this trailer park is a fun little cross-section of humanity. You got your UFO nuts, your sovereign citizens, your wannabe filmmakers, and of course your retired stockbrokers looking for adventure. Though I suppose in a universe like this where aliens are 100% real, are these guys truly that crazy? One of the nice locals brings the Parker family coffee every morning, but also today brings some warning. Basically, don't go poking around an old abandoned military installation out in the desert unless you want to be disappeared. And by that he doesn't mean abducted, he means like literally black bag disappeared. Missing people and a mysterious military installation? Well, this certainly sounds like a job for Spider-Man, doesn't it? And Peter could use the opportunity to try and get back in the saddle. Not only does he miss being a hero on his own, fighting the good fight, but he also thinks this could serve as a nice little teachable moment for his son Richard, who filled in for Peter during his kidnapping. Where is Richard right now? Well, I'll tell you all about it right after a word from our sponsor. That's right, after Cape Joel has teamed with the good folks over at Encore. What's Encore? Well, do you love comics? I mean, you're watching me, so that's certainly the feeling I get. But has this ever happened to you? You spend forever scouring the internet looking for that one obscure issue to complete your collection, or maybe a beloved childhood story that's just not in print anymore? Well, don't worry, because Encore is here. Encore is a brand new bidding app that is like what would happen if TikTok and an auction house had a beautiful baby. Browse through tons of listings, finding exactly what you're looking for, and as an added benefit, take some time to interact with the sellers who love comic books and superheroes just as much as you do. See the books and other wonderfully geeky collectibles in real time so you know exactly what you're getting. Bidding could not be easier. Just swipe, set a max amount, and let Encore do the rest. Feel safe in your purchase knowing that you're protected by ID verification for all sellers, making sure that no one gets scammed. Stock photo listings are a thing of the past over here on Encore. Not convinced yet? Well, what if I told you you could win stuff by buying in one of their many giveaway contests and earn even more entries by introducing your friends and family? So whenever you're ready to find your next great comic collectible, click the link down in my description to download Encore today for iOS and Android. Now, when we actually do end up rejoining the son of Spider-Man, you won't be surprised to find out he's actually secretly texting Black Cat Felicia Hardy. Hey, you know what? Good on Richard for not letting a little thing like his family's lives being threatened to stop him from talking to a girl he likes. And for what it's worth, Felicia does actually seem to like him back too. In fact, she opens up about all the bank robberies she's been doing. Oh yeah, this is gonna blow up in both their faces super hard super soon, isn't it? I can just tell. Now, when Spider-Man makes the scene, he has a lot to say, not just to his son, but also to the Venom suit that's been helping his son be a hero recently. Peter wants to make sure they're all on the same page right now, and in case something super dangerous should happen, he hopes that the suit will go out of its way to protect Richard at all costs, even though the suit is supposed to be a copy of Peter's own personality, and the suit actually surprises Peter by saying that in its programming it thought it was supposed to save everybody. Also, in a nice bit of writing, I appreciate that Peter doesn't go out of his way to be all like, oh no son of mine will be a hero, it's too dangerous. He knows he doesn't really have a foot to stand on in that situation, and instead decides that if Richard's gonna keep being a costume crime fighter, the least he could do is learn some important lessons. So yeah, it looks like we got our first Spider-Man father-son team-up, everybody, a fact of which Richard ends up making some really hilarious meta-commentary by saying, oh yeah, everyone loves those, especially sons. Geez, Jonathan Hickman, tell us what you really think. Now, the two Spideys aren't at this military installation for long when they end up coming under attack by the brand new ultimate incarnation of the Sandman, who looks and acts basically entirely like the old Sandman. Because this is the desert and because Sandman is so close to the source of his power, he is understandably incredibly tough and able to grow to kaiju size like it's nothing. Though quickly Peter and Richard clock that all is not what it seems in this facility. There's a large radio tower that keeps shooting out an energy blast every few seconds that causes Sandman to lose his physical form and retreat back into being particulates before eventually reforming again. It's made abundantly clear that Sandman is probably stuck here against his own will, and the only way they're going to get out of this situation is if they can destroy the tower, which is a lot easier said than done, as poor Peter ends up getting himself knocked around like a ball of yarn by a cat, meaning that it looks like Richard is going to need to step up and be the real VIP of this story, making use of the Venom Nano machines to control the tower and shut it off remotely without needing to destroy it the good old-fashioned way. With the tower officially dealt with, Sandman is once again able to return to his human form. We don't learn his real name in this issue. I can only assume he's Flint Marko, because he definitely looks the part. As we learn from Sandman, he's actually been stuck as this horrible creature for 3 years. Just like all the other people in these parts, he snuck out looking to try and find what secrets this facility might have had. Of course, in a terrible turn of luck, turns out this place was actually operated by agents of AIM. You can tell because of the classic yellow beekeeper suits they wear. Sandman got himself captured and experimented on, turned into a horrible sand creature before eventually the agents of AIM just up and left him one day. Spider-Man is happy to help, but he says next time maybe use your sand abilities to spell out help or SOS instead of using me as a hammer on a nail. That'd be great. If nothing else, Spider-Man is happy that he got to do some superheroing well on the road, and he's proud about how his son conducted himself well under pressure. The next day, he even feels confident enough to try and place a secret call back to Ben in New York. The two go out of their way to speak in code in case someone is listening, and in this situation, they definitely are. It seems that Ben and JJ have taken yet another meeting with Wesley and the Kingpin. The bad guys try their hardest to put the fear of God into the two men, saying that they better drop this investigation and soon lest something bad happens, something like, oh, I don't know. They end up like Ben Reilly. Oh yeah, you remember Ben Reilly, the fake person that Ben and JJ had created to help print their big investigative journalism pieces on Kingpin and his cabal? Well, as it turns out, every man named Ben Reilly has just turned up dead in New York City. It's even going to be the front page story of the Bugle come tomorrow morning. Ben is horrified at the Kingpin's reach that he could actually kill every man named Ben Reilly in New York City, only for Kingpin to come back and say, oh no, I'm part of a global cabal. I killed every man named Ben Reilly on Earth. But you know, don't let it stop you or anything. I actually like the investigative work you do. Keeps me on my toes, gives me something to fight, and helps draw focus from the other members of my cabal. JJ stays resolute, saying that the Kingpin might be powerful and well-connected, but he's not God. Kingpin agrees, saying that he works for God, more or less. And that every time night falls, it's as if the Maker drags his hand across the very Earth itself. Still though, to their credit, JJ and Ben are not shook. In fact, they actively say to the Kingpin's face that they are going to be doubling down on their investigation now. And that when everything is said and done and the Kingpin's dirty dealings are brought out into the light of day, they will happily write the obituary on all of it. And believe it or not, on that note right there, the comic comes to a close, everybody. And so that was Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 15. Once again, just when I think I know where this series is going, they completely upend the status quo in the best way. It's kind of fun to see a Spider-Man having to work outside New York City on the run and having to change up his style of Spider-Manning. Also, we're only 15 issues in, and Peter basically already has a successor sidekick in the form of his son Richard, who is of course seemingly already keeping secrets from his father about his relationship with Black Cat. I have to wonder if this is a new updated take on the Black Suit story, where in puberty and teenage rebellion help act as the catalyst in this situation. It's also really cool to see a new take on Sandman, even if that take isn't all that different from the one in the main universe. I just love that slowly but surely we're collecting all the classic Spider-Man foes. More than anything though, I think I'm pleasantly surprised to see the continued story of Ben and JJ. They've made up so many B-plots in this book since the very beginning, and it's nice to see they're not slowing down. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one another very much well-deserved 9 out of 10, and as always, I can't wait to see what Jonathan Hickman and company end up offering up next. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.